So what's your biggest weakness?
White wine and high heels.
We're just here at Hopkins HQ today in Pudsey. It's Pudsey, isn't it?
Pudsey?
Yeah. Pudsey, Leeds, heart of Yorkshire, as they say, West Yorkshire. Hopkins manufacture ranges, chippers, peelers, and sell lots of equipment
Yes.
globally.
Yes.
Yeah. And we're just having a bit of a Q&A. It might take a bit of a deep dive. Nothing serious though, just lots of fun. What is an average day at Hopkins?
There's no such thing as an average day at Hopkins. Every day for me is completely different. So last week I would have been in the transit van driving down to Swansea to deliver some equipment to the customer. Next week I'll be going down to Mansion House in London to meet with 52 heads of state to talk about economic policy in the wake of Brexit. Today I could be doing product development, tomorrow I might be doing HR. There is no such thing as an average day for Victoria.
What's the most exciting part about your job?
That's a really good question. What's exciting? I find all of it exciting. I learn something new every day. You know, things are changing all the time and you have to be at the forefront of your game really, don't you? So I learn things all the time and I find that really exciting.
So you definitely don't know it all then?
That depends. If you ask my partner, I know what he'd say to you, but no, definitely not, no. But that's the thing about business though, you have to know lots of different things. You don't have to know it to the full extent, but you have to have an awareness of marketing and finance and HR and employment law and health and safety and all those kind of things.
You've got to know enough about each one to hold that conversation.
Absolutely. Yeah. And also to make sure that you're doing it right in the business.
So Victoria, tell me about your least favourite and your most favourite aspects of running Hopkins.
So the least favourite aspect I think is the overwhelming sense of responsibility. You know, I've got 60 years of history behind me and have 60 members of staff, so it's relentless. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can never switch off. You can never truly just switch your mind off. It's always there in the back of your mind, and that can be quite overpowering sometimes. And the fear of failure, I really don't want to fail for, you know, something that my granddad started so long ago. My granddad and my uncle took over, so that is probably the hardest part. I don't want to let people down, and I want to do well and to take it on to the next generation.
And the best bits?
Being able to make a difference in people's lives. I employ 60 people, which gives them an opportunity to improve their careers and learn new skills and buy houses and develop themselves emotionally and what have you. And also I'm incredibly lucky, aren't I, to be able to take over a business that has got such a long history. Yeah. And I can make a difference with the products that I develop, the products that my customers use and that they'll use in their shops to make their lives easier. So I have a great opportunity to be an influencer in this world, and I'm very privileged that I can be that.
So in one respect, you are a custodian of this business.
Oh, hugely. Yeah. Well, absolutely. So, you know, my granddad started it, my dad and my uncle took over, then it's my tenureship, and I mean, I have an 11-year-old daughter. Whether she'll want to come and take over the business remains to be seen. But that's what I'm doing. I'm looking after the family legacy for the time being until its next chapter.
You've just got to make it better for the next generation.
Oh, massively.
Yeah.
I think you need to put your own stamp on it. I probably do things very differently to the way my granddad did it and the way my dad did it. I have to put my own stamp and have my own vision and drive it forward, bringing in new blood and bringing in diversity and taking it to the next level, really.
Yeah, I'm guessing diversity, and it's not that it was their fault, but I'm guessing diversity just wasn't on your granddad's agenda, was
it? No. He was a proper chauvinist. You know, you are not going to work in that business. It is no place for a woman. If you want a business, I'm going to open you a tea shop. Really. But that's what it was like. And I came from a really long line of men. So I was the first girl to be born for 5 generations. Out of 7 grandchildren, I was the only girl. There were a few eyebrows raised. So, and yet I am the only one out of the 7 grandchildren that have actually come into the business and taken it over. My brother works here, but he works in sales. So, you know, bless him, I hope he's not turning in his grave. I hope he is proud of me, but it certainly wasn't part of the plan, and certainly not my granddad's plan.
So Victoria, what's the best bit of advice you can give a newcomer into either the industry or business in general?
I think into the industry, the food service sector, and especially takeaways, it's really, really competitive. So you've got to know your game, you've got to be able to offer a really good quality product and be consistent with it. I think that's a huge aspect. I think you need to be knowledgeable about business. You've got to know about the finances and the accounts and all the things that we were talking about before. For me, it can be quite a lonely place. It's incredibly hard work, mentally and physically. So getting a good support network and not being afraid to ask questions. So I'm part of a business network, for instance, who 15 businesses we meet every month, we challenge each other, and I'll go with a problem and they'll tell me, give me advice. And I think that level of support really helps me to be able to come back and proactively deal with what can be incredibly difficult situations, because everybody expects you to know the answer, and you just don't always have that answer.
See, that's interesting that you come back with that, because a lot of people would look at having a mentor as a weakness, and I know you've already mentioned your weaknesses, but it's interesting that you have a mentor, and you are a mentor, and so you recommend that others should definitely reach out and have a support network.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So being able to bounce ideas off somebody and being open to constructive criticism. And I think, for me, I don't have people telling me that I'm doing a terrible job, because they daren't. But Business Alliance, where I go to, they'll go, do you know what, you've made a mistake there, Victoria, you've done that wrong. And so it's having an accountability and somebody making you just look at things from a different angle, which I think can be really helpful sometimes.
What makes Hopkins special?
Okay, so Hopkins is 60 years old, and we've got a lot of history behind us, and we are a true family business. I genuinely believe that every single person that works in this business is part of my family, and I think they feel part of the Hopkins family, and our customers really like that. One of the things I am so proud of is how much the staff care about doing a good job for our customers. The level of customer service that they give is genuine. They really, really want to do the best for our customers, and I'm really proud of that, because they don't just come to work. I mean, maybe there's one or two would kind of come to work for the money, but I would say the majority of people come to work here because they like it, and that is really evident in the fact that we have members of staff here that have worked for 30, 40 years, or maybe second and third generation. And I think that's really what the heartbeat of Hopkins is. It's the people who work here, and they are very much part of my family, the Hopkins family.
The Hopkins family.
Hopkins family.
So Victoria, with everything going off at the moment in the UK, what do you see as risks and opportunities?
I see loads of opportunities. For us at the minute, exporting is a really big thing because the pound is weak. We export our products all over the world, so we're getting incredible interest from North America and Canada and Australia and all sorts of the Middle East. So that's a great opportunity for us to diversify into new markets, if you like. Risks, for me, I don't really see risks. I always kind of see opportunities. But to give an example for that, one of the difficulties that we as an engineering business experience is lack of skilled staff. So we have incredibly highly skilled traditional craftsmen build our equipment, which was a career choice 20, 30 years ago. Now it's not. Trying to get the younger generation to come into engineering and work in a factory is really quite difficult. So there's a huge skills shortage out there, and it takes a long time to train the younger generation up to get them to the standard that you want to be. They go to college for 4 years to do their apprenticeship. That's not quick enough for me. I need the staff to learn their skill quicker. So to me, it's an opportunity to open an academy, so I can now go away and devise my own apprenticeship that's suitable for my business. So not only does that feed skilled staff into my business, it feeds it into the wider economy and into other engineering businesses in the locality. So that's what I'm saying. For me, I don't see risks and threats and problems.
It's always opportunities.
That's it. How can you flip it on your head? How can you turn it into something positive?
So negatives are positives.
That's right. Yeah.
We've just wrapped up here at Hopkins HQ. We're going to let everybody get on with their work. We had a really good time. It wasn't over the top, was it?
No.
I wasn't Jeremy Paxman, was I?
No,
not at all.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, no. So we're going to wrap up now, like we said. Remember to subscribe, share and comment. And if you want to ask anything, just fire it over to Victoria. She'll be sure to answer.
Absolutely.